Hi everyone, this is Meir talking to you with staff in San Francisco. We have completely new staff in here and a new start for the holidays. And I want to talk to you right now about back problems. I know that many people think about me as the I man, so to speak, and many doctors throughout the world give me a call about their patients related to their vision. But I've been working with many people on their back. And one thing that bothers me is if you look at real statistics, there are millions of people lying every single day in the United States alone, but perhaps as many as 50 or 60 million people worldwide lie unable to move because of back problems. And people think that those are like isolated problems. They kind of happen on their own. Like I always hear, I have a bad back. This is my story. Well, everybody has their story, no question. But let's look at the stressors of modern life. And let's try and address them. And if we do, we can prevent all the back problems that exist. Of course, we have a back industry, chiropractic, osteopathy, orthopedics, physiotherapy, that basically makes a good living out of people's back problems. And if I would not be a lonely wolf in the dark and howl and say, hey, there's a way to not have back problems, and the whole world would listen to me, and this is my prayer that's going to happen one of these days, then unfortunately those industries will have to change and people will work more on prevention than cure. So what causes our back problems? Number one, sitting. We never, as a humanity, sat so much on chairs. In a way, I almost feel guilty when I'm asking for my employees to sit down and do their paperwork that is so necessary for our place, because sitting is your worst enemy. We sit in the car. Some people commute for an hour each way and some even more to go to the place. I'm so grateful that my commute is 3 minutes with my car, 5 minutes with my bicycle, and 15 minutes by foot. And I'm trying to walk as much as I can back and forth to my office, which is not far from my home. And both of them are buildings which are wonderful buildings to be in foggy San Francisco. But I just want to tell you, most people commute. They watch television. They watch the computers. When you get home, you watch the computer, or worse than that, you sit down and watch your tablet or your phone. That sitting is a problem for the back. We have muscles, and I'm really sorry to tell you their names. The paraspinalis muscles, which connect between the bodies of the vertebrae and the spinous process, that area of the back that you feel when you touch your vertebrae, and the transverse abdominis. So the transverse abdominis and the paraspinalis are the exact muscles that should keep you erect. And they're good for half an hour. How long do you want them to be good for? If you lift weights, if it's weights which are right for you, you may lift them 20 times and it would feel okay. 5 more times and it's hard. And 5 more times and it looks difficult. And another time looks impossible. What do you do then? You borrow muscles that you normally don't use. So let's return into sitting. After half an hour, those muscles become so tired that they start to use other muscles. The body starts to use other muscles. So you start to use your shoulder muscles like the trapezius and the rhomboids and the erector spinae, and you start to use the front abdominal muscles and even your neck muscles and even your chest muscles. And the solution for it is rather simple. You stand every 20 minutes, you stretch, you look at the ceiling, you grab one leg and you bring it backwards. And that's the exact opposite position than sitting. You take 5 deep breaths in each side, you sit again, and you're good for the next 20 minutes. You do it again and again, and nobody in his right mind has any right to sit in front of a computer for more than 2 hours at a time. Get out of your desk, get out of your position, take a 5 minutes walk, and then return and sit. That's one part. The other part is shoes. Shoes are so hard for the feet. Now, of course, some of you will laugh at me. You are in cold weather. How would you walk without shoes or boots? And some of you are in warm weather and you walk with sandals. But all shoes confine the feet. So whenever you can take them off and walk on a nice carpet is great. Whenever you can take them off and walk bare feet on sand or on grass, that's great. Whenever you can take thin shoes and walk on gravel, that's great. And we need to change shoes a few times a day. Now, I have shoes that elevate my toes and the heels are closer to the ground. And I think that's wonderful. It exercises the front of my muscles, the shins. And believe it or not, working on stability from the legs up to the back makes a difference. So one real good exercise for you is to lift your toes while the heel's on the ground, up and down. You'll see that there's soreness starts to accumulate in your shin, or the muscle is called tibialis anterior. And to loosen it up, you lift the heel up and down from the ground and you loosen up the shins that way, because opponent muscles help each other. So to add something to it, we overuse many of our muscles. Some people over-exercise, some people over-sit, some people overstand. And we always need to use muscles we never used before. And that's what's so great about my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. But I just want you to know that that is your discovery. Which muscles am I not using and which muscles should I use? And it's a great discovery. And that's what I like to do with all my clients. Help them discover what is missing. Help them discover what still needs to be used. I would like to talk to you more, but I want you to be aware of two things. Sitting is hard. Shoes and cement are hard on the body. We need to compensate. There are other components to back problems, and we will talk about them in my next lesson.